22. Give to Brown. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own, and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
To the air. It's Dampier. Shoots it to the left. Beautifully thrown ball. Terrific catch, and they'll have the first down. No huddle offense to the line.
As a defender, you use the sideline as the 12th man. That's another guy. You know the play stops there. He can't make a catch. Great job by the wide receiver, fighting for his space, catching the ball, and staying in bounds.
Looking to throw on first down. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. The Gators trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. To the air on second down. Under fire. Makes the grab. It's Singleton. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size.
It's so important that this offense is able to stay on schedule. What that means is keeping third downs manageable. That last completion to the tight end accomplished just that. Really nice play.
Third down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35.
And after giving up the long run defensively, they
lets it fly deep downfield. Touchdown, Florida! They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into defense, because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in the game.
Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Nice return there, and he'll be dragged down at the 34. Here come the Irish, back on offense. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense got to stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? Do you be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense?
This crowd on hand, trying to make sure the Gators don't back down on third down. They'll try the run. There he goes. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on, hard to get him to the ground.
Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24.
Defensively, you'll take the slow death. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making them run to guys, and get them on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
Off the play fake on first down. And he's got it! Touchdown, Notre Dame!
Man, a really nice job understanding I got to get to that gap where there's a little bit of open space in the middle of the field when I run that post route. QB lays it out for him, and he catches it, gets 2 feet in bounds, in the end zone, touchdown.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
Well, that defender just was better in his one-on-one on the pass rush. He does a great job beating the offensive lineman to get to the QB.
The Gators with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Throwing right. Got the big tight end on the corner right. Breaks into the open. Touchdown Gator. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Good concentration to get that squibber inside the 15. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Leaves it with the back. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up one.
And you want to run the football, and that's okay. You'll take some of these, but if they start to add up down the road, obviously you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's Williams. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. Going with the ground game left. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. They'll try to quiet this crowd by moving the sticks on fourth down. Off the play fake. Quickly to the tight end. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Well, that tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. Fourth down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
Hands it off. Oh, he's got some space. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down. This will make Irish eyes smile because they're shaking down thunder from the sky with this running game.
Just pound, pound, pound. What are you going to do? Are you going to meet the physical challenge of the Irish because they're ready to rumble?
Notre Dame ready to go with another first down. They're going to ride this running back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
The defense is able to finally stop this guy, but he has been on fire. We're only in the second quarter, and he has been absolutely lighting it up in this one. Nice job that time, defense, but you know this guy's going to get a lot more carries.
And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks it down.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
They thought they could just run it on third and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
Well, you love to see that from the defense, right? It's like bend, don't break. They've given up a bunch of plays on this drive, but now that they're getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing them start to stiffen up there.
Yeah, and plays don't matter.
Converts on fourth down, still going. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone.
I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
He'll bring it out. It's Abrams. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. He wants to change this route. Back to throw. It's Dampier. Pressure coming. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7. The hurry up now. Second down. Clock ticking. Looking to fire. Throws to the wideout. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
This offense really is putting themselves behind the 8 ball right now on this drive. Sack first down. You've just thrown an incompletion. So 3rd in California. Defense knows you're probably going to throw it. What can you dial up here?
With the catch, it's Brown. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call.
Love the coverage and not giving up an inch defensively there. 3rd down, smothering the receiver. As soon as he caught the ball, down he went. They've got this offense pinned.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. Gets drilled as he releases it, and the ball just trickles to the ground.
There are analytics out there in college football that say maybe you can go for that at that point of the field here in the first half. It's still early. If you don't get it, you can come back later in the game, make it up, score some more points, and that mistake will be erased. The problem is right now at this juncture of the game, that was a big-time error. The fact that you didn't get that, you're now gifting your opponent points.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. He's got it. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This offense has put on a display in the first half, and they have a chance to tack another one on before the break. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? DB's locked up tight on the receivers. They'll run play action. Going for 6. Touchdown, Irish! Fitted in the window for the score. The defense calls the timeout, and that's their last one of the half.
Man, that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the second half to get some stops.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And they stay on target with the extra point, up 35-21. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they close that drive going to the air for the final few inches and the score. So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. And it'll come out to the 25, no attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking downfield, it's Dampier. Fires to the middle. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. And they make the play and make sure there's not any scoring opportunity right here before the end of the half. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Another interception. That's number 17 on the year.
Some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football. He's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
He's going for it all. A strike downfield. Just enough time to get off one more snap. Wants to throw on first down. Buys a little extra time. He can haul it in. Incomplete. They took a shot, but that's how we'll wrap up the half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. And the Gators will kick it off to start the second half. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They open this third quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the second half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to cut out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
He's got it for a big play. Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Play action on first down. Trying to get behind the defense. And it slips through his fingers. Incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
I think the quarterback could have found somewhere else to go with the football on that one. His intended target was not open. As a result, easy incompletion.
The noise is deafening, trying to make sure only the Gators get out of the swamp on third down. He's looking to pass. And the pass is incomplete here on third down, but there is a flag. Let's check it out. Holding on the defense is just a gift to the offense with the automatic first down. The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. Just keeps slinging it. Sets up the screen. Turning it on. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead. They know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last.
Throws for the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. If this dude were a kitchen knife, he would be slicing tomatoes so thin your in-laws would never come back to your house.
Well, that'd be a good thing. I don't know if I want my in-laws to come back anyways, but he's been on fire. He's been absolutely torching this defense. They've had absolutely no answers for him.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll bring it out. It's Abrams. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Gators sending the offense back to work. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of your defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
Well, the quarterback knew where he wanted to go with the ball. His intended target just wasn't open, so the quarterback made sure he put that football in the stands.
Backed up now, here's second and long. To the air, it's Russell. Makes the catch. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. Caught near the sticks. It's Wilson. There he goes. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. The Gators moving quickly to the line. Looking to throw on first down. Fired that thing out in a heartbeat, but it's incomplete. Working well behind the sticks on second down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions, giving up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz, because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13. From the red zone, looking for a space. Good timing on the quick out. Touchdown, Florida! A great catch and run for 6.
Man, it's not an accident. They're featuring this guy. His second receiving touchdown of the game. That's your job as a coach. Find my playmakers, get them the ball so they can do damage and have games like this right here.
And the extra point is good. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Nice return there, and he'll be dragged down at the 34. Here come the Irish, back on offense. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. They'll give it to the back. Runs through the tackle. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. Less than a yard to go to pick up the first down. Handoff to the lone back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. This crowd unhinged, trying to make sure the Gators don't back down on 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
Well, the defense got the stop there on 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can do it again here on 4th and inches, Dave.
I just got to find a way to fall forward, be physical. We work on this all week. You know you're going for it on 4th down.
They're in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, and this is why you have a prominent jawline and an urgent resolve. They'll go for it. In their own territory, no problem. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. quarterback will keep it. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
When we think back to this game, we're going to remember all these fourth down conversions. That's the fourth different time now this offense has been able to make it happen and stay on the field.
They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down to throw. He's going to take off.
I love it. The defense brings extra bodies near the line of scrimmage. They choose to blitz, get to him, try to speed up the processor just a little bit, force the scramble, no damage done. Nice job by this defense making him think really quickly and make a decision.
And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
Well, this guy's been an animal all game long. He's had tons of success running the football. The defense had to do something to stop him. Give the D-line and that front seven tons of credit for being really physical there, getting the TFL.
On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
Get this drive started from the 29. Dropping back, it's Russell. Here's a heat. Catch in the middle, it's Wilson. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time.
Touchdown, Gator! And they take it in for 6 more points. That was a lightning-fast drive that ends with a touchdown.
If you could string a few more drives like that together, man, we might as well get our popcorn out because we're going to get a lot of scoring.
And the extra point was good. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. Yes, that's one way to ensure there's no return as the kickoff goes out of bounds. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Defense in press coverage. On the run, it's Young. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Well, we're not quite in the fourth quarter yet. We're almost there, but you're seeing the attitude shift now for this offense. They've got the lead, so they've got to be able to run the football. You're going to see a lot more of that, I think, as this game keeps going on. They're trying to wear this defense down when the game is almost over.
That was a lightning-fast decision. You could tell he knew what he wanted to do right away. Makes the decision, but maybe his footwork wasn't a little bit good, and the pass wasn't where he wanted to put that thing. I know that.
This defense will try to force a 4th down on 3rd and short from the 45. To the ground with the back. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense. The Irish send out the punt unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll field the punt and try to get some yardage. Excellent coverage and tackle that time, and that's how the 3rd quarter comes to a close. We've come to the end of the period, and Notre Dame has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Making side adjustments here. Looking for a man. It's Russell. Gets it out fast. He'll get it up to the 39 before he's run out of bounds, and this offense just patiently, methodically trying to do work. Intercepted, and that is the last thing they needed.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown there last.
Here's an interception. Oh, did they need that turnover? And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
But what a play by the defense there. Trailing here in the fourth quarter by one possession. Able to steal it away now and put their offense in position to at least go tie this game.
Let's see what kind of ball plays this offense has ready. The give to the back. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44. The Gators racing to the line in the hurry-up.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice...
Breaks into the open. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. To the air on first down. Just another big play for this game. Spent the entire game wide open, couple of touchdowns there, and he moves the sticks again, David.
Yeah, so I'll keep finding him, Reese. I mean, this is the guy that, listen, we're in the second half now. He's already made plays. I know I can trust him, so I'm going to continue to feature him in this offense because I know he'll continue to make big plays.
Wants to adjust the pattern. Back to throw, it's Dampier. He uncorks a laser deep down the middle. Picked off. Going the other way, and he's got room. Bulldozes his way through. The 40. At the 20. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
And some guys just have a knack of finding the football, and he is one of them. Like, you can just tell when the ball's in the air, he's like, that is mine. His second big game-changing play in this football game.
They'll run it on first and goal. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. As they push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column.
You know, good teams just know how to close games out. And you're seeing that right now with this team, right? Their defense just had a massive takeaway. The offense able to capitalize on that with a touchdown, so they padded their lead. And this just speaks to, I think, the experience in the locker room and also the playmakers they have. This game is starting to feel like a blowout.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. Throws to the tight end. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
Well, we've got a close game here at the start of the fourth quarter, right? This team obviously is down, but they're not playing it close to the vest. Being aggressive, first play of the drive, trying to throw it down the field. They're going to have to complete some of these if they're going to get this comeback win in this game.
Looking for a man. It's Dampier. That one comes out hot down the right side. Oh, he's got some space. Touchdown, Florida! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
How about that? His receiving touchdown of the ball game. Find ways to get your athletes the ball. They'll do the rest. That's number 2. We better start playing some better defense, and number 3 is coming soon.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, your game is a big one, but so is this battle right now inside the American. Tulsa is down right now, but this young man under center has shown some moxie today. We could see a legend born in Chapman Stadium. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Maryland. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this clash in the American you should know about.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Here come the Irish back on offense. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of... When I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
Second down, he'll throw it. Makes the grab on the left. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Pass completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. The give and tick, 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 tick. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead. The offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
On the run, it's Payne. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
This offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the first down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again.
Big third down as the crowd gets behind this defense. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. And he gets it out past the sticks, and Notre Dame will have a first down.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
Might as well give it to him again. Turning it on! They'll stop him at the 41, but he's got 10 yards, and they'll move the chains.
Well, right away after picking up the first down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back, and I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the ball.
And you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on first down. You're starting like that. Now, what opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
We'll head to the 2-minute timeout. Tight ball game here, and this offense will try to milk the clock. Notre Dame coming to the line with another first down. The give to the tailback. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
That's got to be demoralizing if you're the defense. You're trailing. You need to get the ball back. You got to get off the field, but you can't stop the run when they're going between the tackles. This defense is going to have to get a lot more physical, especially in the middle.
The corners are walked up tight. Looking for a gap. It's Young. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
got nowhere, but now it's decision time. It's third down. Listen, if I go get this first down, there's a good chance this ball game's over. The clock's going to run out. So how aggressive do I want to be on this third down?
Well, I want to be aggressive if I'm on defense. You could tell in these last couple of plays, they've been selling out, putting a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage, anticipating the offense, trying to run the football, trying to bleed the clock. Now, I'd get after this quarterback. I'd be anticipating throw here. Just send the blitz and really dictate to them and give yourself an opportunity to win.
So on fourth down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. And it's no good. He missed it. And the margin remains at 7 after the miss.
Hey, sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal, miss, make, rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. Looking to throw, it's Dampier. Quickly complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain. This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down. Wants to go up top on first down. Now he's looking into the middle. Throw to the end zone, picked off. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
And it's just a bad decision by the quarterback. I get that he's outside the pocket and the play's breaking down, but you can't force it into your top receiver. If he's not open, you got to throw it away, and the defense took advantage with the interception.
Takes the handoff. It's Payne. Shakes off the defender. That's why a good running game is a coach's and quarterback's best friend when you're trying to put the lid on the game. The great Nick Saban often says players often respond better to losses. They listen more than they do if they're getting away with things in wins. So maybe this is an opportunity to recalibrate.
I think you take it first and you internalize it and you get upset because obviously the goal was to win the game. But you also got to flip the switch really quickly, Jesse, and say, okay, what do I need to work on? Because I only got one loss. I'm still very much in the thick of all of my dreams that I want to come true. So I can't take it too hard, but I got to use it.
Yeah, this loss definitely hurts, and I know one of the goals for this team at the start of the year was to go undefeated and win a national championship. You can't go undefeated anymore, but you can still win a national championship. The key is the leadership in the locker room. They've got to turn the page. They've got to get everybody refocused. You can't let this loss now turn into 2 or 3 or more down the road.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.